right here is 40 years experience. Everything you need to know in a very short version, and I do a lot of consulting. I have people from this class call me all the time. Hey, we're thinking of doing this, we got a home. My mother's thinking of doing this. What about this, what about that? I help people. I make a little money off of it, but I do help people quite a bit. And let me give you an example. Oh, by the way, she mentioned Gerber Life Insurance. Somebody asked the question. Who you did? About Gerber? I used to work for Gerber. I was a sales rep for Gerber Baby Foods for 5 years, like 100 years ago. And I want to tell you something. The Gerber Baby, when they were starting out the company, they needed a logo or a figure, okay? So they had a contest. And a guy sent in a charcoal sketch of his little sister, and that's the Gerber Baby. He got $100 and that's it. Never got another nickel. Okay?
Wow.
Just a little information. Now, as far as this goes, a lot of people that buy homes, they have no idea about the insulation. And I'm gonna go by each page and give you some ideas what to do. Okay? Number one, a lot of people have some insulation in the attic, like maybe 3 inches, 4 inches. It's not enough. It's not enough. And they say, well, yeah, I got insulation. Well, that's like saying, gee, I'm in Alaska and it's 0 degrees and I got a sweater on. No, that doesn't cut it, okay? You need an R38. R means resistance to heat. R38 is what you need in an attic. It's all in here, okay? Sealing the attic floor before you insulate is extremely important. It's one of the most cost-effective things you can do is attic and wall insulation. Attic and wall insulation represents about 50% of heat gain in the summer and heat loss in the winter. Windows, good thing to do, but only represents about 20%. Now, the reason that people are confused when it comes to doing energy efficient upgrades is you have people out there telling them, well, if you do this and if you do that, all you need is windows. Meantime, their attic's empty, their walls are empty. They got so many problems, and here they are doing windows. I'll tell you what that is. That's like having 6 holes in your boat and fixing one. That's exactly what it is. But you don't hear that from a lot of contractors, because they're out to sell their windows. So they tell you, well, the windows, man, you put your kid through college. You know, the kind of savings you're gonna get. It's not true. It is a piece of the puzzle. Who here has a recipe for something that's really good, that everybody likes? Okay, let me ask you what that is. The recipe, what is it you make?
Oh, it's like stuffed shell.
Huh?
Stuffed shell.
Stew?
Stuffed shell.
Okay, stuffed shells, okay. Now, I don't know what, I've never eaten your stuffed shells, obviously. Not yet. That's a good one. Who said that? But shut up. And I don't know how many ingredients, but let's say for stuffed shells, 5 ingredients. Now, I tell you to make those stuffed shells with only 2 ingredients. And you say, well, I can't do that. Correct? Okay, well, that's the same thing making a home energy efficient. You can't do it at all by just doing a couple of things or one thing. It doesn't cut it. It's like a puzzle. You need all the pieces. Now, as far as the insulation is concerned, like I said, a lot of people have some, but not near enough. A lot of people, their walls are empty, they don't even know it. Okay? Now, next page, ductwork. How many people would ever think of doing ducts or think that ducts are important in a home? Ductwork. Okay. Air distribution system is your ductwork. Okay? And there is a diagnostic way of testing your ducts to tell you how much leakage you have. If you have high efficient heating and air, and you have ducts that leak 50, 60%, that means 50, 60% of your heated and cooled air is going in the attic and never gets to the rooms. Okay? Many heating and air contractors don't like to mess with ducts. They don't like to mess with it. It's hard. It's one that doesn't make a lot of profit. So they just tell people, you know, I looked at your ducts. They're pretty good. So they put in a high efficiency heating and air conditioning system, and they pay good money for it, and it's not operating efficient. Because if you got a 90% efficient furnace and you're losing 50% of the heated air in the attic, your furnace is now 45% efficient. If you have a hybrid car, if you have a car that's supposed to get 50 miles a gallon, and you're leaking 10 gallons a day, and you're only getting 10 miles a gallon, you're going, wait a second, what's going on here? And you see gasoline all over your driveway, how fast would you fix that? Immediately, of course. Same thing with the ductwork. So any of you, whenever you're changing out heating and air, or your friends, neighbors, relatives, let them know. I'll give some extra if you want to pass these out. This is a wealth of knowledge. Furnace and air conditioning, SEER and the AFUE is how they rate those. Fuel efficiency, okay? So the higher the better, but without good ductwork, it's meaningless. Now, here's something else about ductwork. When you have splits and cracks in your ducts, and the air's going through to get to the rooms, you know, the bedrooms and the kitchen and everything. Okay, when you have, because of the force of air, and there's cracks and leaks all over, it sucks in attic filth and redistributes it throughout the house. Indoor air quality is important. I just had new heating and air conditioning put in my home, and my ducts years ago leaked like 11%. They were 30% when I changed out my heating and air, and I got all new ductwork. They got the leakage down to 4%, and it was diagnostically tested. Okay? And I have practically no dust in my house at all. It's unbelievable. So there is something to consider. You cannot have an energy efficient home without good ductwork. Without tight ductwork, it's impossible. As far as water heating is concerned, there's tankless and there's tanks that are very efficient. Myself, I like the tank water heater, and there's some that are very efficient. They go by EF factor, energy factor. Okay? Tankless is great. A good tank is great also. So look for the EF, which is the energy factor. 64 or better is good. Tankless are very expensive, and I think you're better off putting your money in other areas. And if you need a new water heater, just make sure you get a good tank one that's like 64% efficient or better. Tankless is the most expensive. Okay, they cost like 3 times more than a tank. Okay, but there's nothing more efficient than a tankless, because tankless you only use when you need hot water. You turn on the hot water, the little sensor goes off, and it heats the cables, it heats the coils, and then when you turn it off, it's not working anymore. With a tank, you're constantly reheating. Okay. With tankless, but like I said, tankless can be about $3,000, where you can get a good water heater for $1,000. So I'm just giving you the options. Okay. If you do have a large family and do a lot of laundry and everything, tankless is probably the way to go. Windows, I've helped a lot of people with windows. I know a very good window company and manufacturer that argon gas-filled windows are the very best. And windows are great. I mean, they're only a piece of the puzzle. Now, when you get good windows, argon gas, they're better than Energy Star windows. Energy Star is a platform for efficiency. Argon gas windows exceed Energy Star windows, so they're even better.
Are they more expensive?
No, they're not. No, you can shop windows. I've had people call me from this class. My mom's buying windows, and the guy wants $13,000. That's what you call, my friend. She got better windows for like seven or 8. So there's a difference, believe me. There's always a difference. Are there any questions up to this point? I know you're loving this. I mean, really. Right? Well, don't hurt my feelings. I mean, gee whiz. Any questions at all to this point? Okay, now I saved kind of the best for last. Look at the last page. There's a program called the Power Purchase Agreement that allows people to have solar at no cost. Now, I know you're going to look and say, I don't know this guy, but he's full of it. Well, actually, I am full of it. But I am telling you the truth about this one. Okay? Because I work with a company that does these. And there is a program where you can save about 40% your electric bill, and you don't spend 1 red cent. Okay? It's called the power purchase agreement. It's a 20-year deal where you get the solar put on, and because of the savings they share with you, you get a 40% reduction on what you're paying now after the evaluation, approximately 40%, and you don't pay a nickel. They make money, you have a reduction. Now, you can buy solar and spend 35, 40 grand like you hear from people, and you can wipe out your electric bill. But a lot of people don't have an extra $35,000 to wipe out their electric bill. So, they go with the 40% program. And the 40% program, I got solar 8 years ago, and it's great. I like it, I love it, but the power purchase agreement wasn't around then. I would have done that. I'd have said, hey, for the amount of money I spent, I wouldn't have spent anything. Wouldn't have had to spend a dime. But they didn't have it at that particular time. Now, several people from this class, because I do this all the time. By the way, before I go any further, you need to thank Linda Jackson and Linda Turner, because they have me here. First of all, I love what I'm doing. I enjoy this. I'm retired. I don't need to do this, but I like doing it. And I like helping people. I get calls all the time. But you need to thank Linda Turner and Linda Jackson for having me here, because they're helping you. Several people from this class have done the solar program. Several people have called up and said, hey, I was thinking of doing this, doing that, when they finally found a home, of course. Okay? And I don't mind. I'm giving people good information. Now, the power purchase agreement, you can make money on it. You can actually make money, because we pay a $250 to $500 referral fee for anybody that gets us, because the power purchase agreement, the no-cost program, is very difficult. Most people just say, yeah, sure. That's some kind of scam, correct? Okay, well, it's not. It's actually a good deal. It's actually a great deal. The company becomes your electric provider. Vivint is the name, and you no longer deal with Edison. You don't deal with Edison increases. It's an outstanding program. Most people that hear about it do it. And the way it works is you get an evaluation. The technician comes to the home. You have to qualify for the program, and you have to have so much sun facing, and you have to have least amount of shade, and all this is because of production. How many panels they put on. They come back about 5 days later, they say, okay, here's what we can do. We can save you 40% on your yearly electric bill, we'll lock it in at a lower rate. It's an outstanding program, can't go wrong, okay? We did a guy, he's a pot farmer in Reno Valley, we just installed about a week ago. And his bills, because now, he's a pot farmer legitimately. He's not doing anything illegal, and he needs a lot of lighting or whatever. Okay, and guess what? $20,000 was his yearly electric bill. We were able to put the panels on. He got like 100 panels. We docked off $9,000 a year on his electric bill for 20 years. Okay, now if somebody do the math for me, I think that's $180,000. He didn't pay a dime, not one dime. And if anybody wants to, if you know, like friends, neighbors, or relatives, and you want to pick up a little extra money, I have people in the class that are telling people they don't have a home yet, but they're telling people about the program. Yes?
So what will happen after the 20 years?
Oh, that's more good news. You sign up for 20 years. You get the best equipment, you get the best inverter, you get the best everything. Okay? After 20 years, and it hasn't been around for 20 years, it's only been around for a few. But after 20 years, if you say, hey, I'm still living here, I love the program, my God, I didn't spend a dime, you sign up for it again for another 20 years, and they give you new equipment. Okay? And if you get the power purchase agreement, and you need an electrical upgrade, a panel upgrade, free. Can't lose. Can't lose. I mean, I got friends doing this, I got neighbors, I got, I'll go before anybody and tell them about this program, yes.
So you said you're no longer with Edison?
You're no longer Edison, you now pay your electric bill to Vivint.
So there's
All that's taken care of. All that's taken care of. They have a guarantee for everything. Guarantee for workmanship, guarantee for electric, guarantee for everything. 20 years. Any other questions?
And we can refer to.
You can refer people now, you just call me and say, Ray, and here's what a lot of people do. A lot of people call me up and say, would you explain that again? You know, I want a little more information. And I say, fine, and they say, okay, I'm gonna tell my sister, I'm gonna tell my neighbor, I'm gonna tell the guys at work. I mean, we have one realtor here that did her own house, and she's got us so far 6 or 7 referrals that signed up, and 7 more are gonna be evaluated. She's gonna make thousands of dollars. And you know what she did? She says, this is funny. I'm helping people and I'm making money doing it. She said, I don't mind telling people about this. I did it and I like it. You know, so I mean, if you like a good spaghetti dinner and you're telling people that restaurant has a good spaghetti dinner, you're not doing anything wrong. You know, so anyway, I have Linda, should I tell my joke?
Yeah. Don't do anything else, why not?
I'm gonna finish up with this. Anybody can call me at any time. I'll be glad to help. I enjoy doing this.
It's a good
This-
program too, my husband's friends, they,
This,
this on there.
this gentleman in the old days in a village in Mexico goes to the village, and as he goes there, just then, the guy that works the tower and rings the big bell at noon every day died. So he goes to the padre and he says, Padre, he said, I'm new in the village and I need this job. He said, I really need this job. I don't have any money, I got a wife and 2 kids. So the padre looks at the guy and says, gee whiz, he says, I feel for you, but how could you possibly ring the bell? You have no arms. And he says, Padre, I can do it. I can do it, let me show you. So they run up the tower, the big bell, this huge bell, and the guy backs up and he looks at the bell, and he runs to the bell and he hits it with his head. The bell starts to sway a little bit, runs back, hits it again, swaying a little more, ring the bell. Does this several times, and he takes a step back and he runs and he misses the bell and goes over the tower. Oh, he's laying down there on the ground and the padre runs down the steps and he goes in, he's kneeling over the guy and he's praying, and all the village people gather around. And one of the village members said, Padre, you know this man? He says, no, but his face rings a bell. Any questions at all? Anybody want some extra?
It is a joke.
Anybody want any extra of these?
Every time.